Oh, you wanted fireworks. You got them. Welcome to the U, Francis Mauigoa.
You are Locked On Canes, your daily podcast on the Miami Hurricanes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I am your host, Alex Donno, University of Miami alumnus, longtime South Florida sports radio vet, including pregame and postgame for Miami Hurricanes football. Happy July 4th. Happy Francis Mauigoa Day. And thank you so much for making Locked On Canes your first listen today. We are available free wherever you get your podcasts and available free on YouTube. This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. I'd like to thank LinkedIn Jobs for being the official college football recruiting sponsor across the Locked On College Network. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Terms and conditions apply. Folks, this is big. This is gigantic. This is seismic. If you thought the Jaden Rashada commit was big, and it was colossal, this is even bigger. Francis Mauigoa, the top-rated offensive tackle in the entire class, the number 9 rated recruit in the entire class of 2023, Miami's first 5-star of the cycle. And I put emphasis on the word first because I honestly do not believe that he will be Miami's only 5-star player this cycle. I think there could be 2 more, maybe even 3 more, depending on how the next month or so shakes out. So obviously, Francis Mauigoa, first and foremost, this one, before he actually announced it and put the Miami hat on, this one left us in a lot of suspense, guys. This was a very well-kept secret. Mauigoa, from all I can tell, had done a pretty good job not telling too many people the way he was leaning or who he was going to pick. And I'm sure he, spoke to a lot of trusted confidants and family members, and they kept their lips sealed pretty tight. There weren't a lot of leaks. And, if he did, I don't know at what point in the time frame he gave like a heads up to Miami's coaches, but if he did that at some point before or long before the announcement, there weren't a lot of leaks coming out of the U either. This one appeared to come down to the wire, okay? And everything we had been hearing and seeing over the past 48 hours or so had it very split, like a tug of war between Tennessee and the Miami Hurricanes, with Alabama and USC lurking in the shadows and trying to make a late push and get themselves in the mix. But it seemed to be Tennessee or Miami. And on what is today, Monday, on Saturday and Sunday, it started to feel like Tennessee was the favorite and that Miami was falling behind a little bit. And then Monday morning, July 4th, we started to get some reports from people who covered the Tennessee Volunteers who were thinking, you know what? Now it's starting to feel like Miami. So when Francis was on live TV, CBS Sports HQ, the same place that Jaden Rashada announced his commit 8 days ago, when he was up there announcing it and he had the 6 hats in front of him, including the Miami hat and the Tennessee hat, the Alabama, the USC, the Florida hat, and the Hawaii hat, and he made his announcement from Hawaii. My heart was beating very, very fast. I was getting some goosebumps. I was legitimately nervous. I didn't actually even feel quite as confident when Mauigoa made his announcement as I did when Jaden Rashada made his. I had a pretty good idea Rashada was going to pick Miami. It was a little bit more up in the air, at least as far as I'm concerned, for Francis Mauigoa. So let's talk about Francis Mauigoa, the player. I'm so happy he made this decision to come to Miami, and I'm sure that a big part of that for him was the type of coaching he's going to get at the University of Miami. You know that when it comes to developing offensive linemen and preparing these guys for the next level, getting into the NFL, being first-round NFL draft picks, we know what Mario Cristobal can do. And a lot of offensive linemen, you hear this from every offensive lineman that Miami recruits. They all say the same thing. They love the fact that Miami has a head coach who's a former offensive line coach and a former offensive lineman, because you don't get a whole lot of that around the country. So they like that. Miami's offensive line coach, Alex Mirabal, is a tremendous teacher and an absolute grinder in recruiting. So you know that if you're Francis Mauigoa, or, Antonio Tripp and Frankie Tinalau, who are already committed in this class. And obviously, Miami's going to get more offensive linemen in this class of 2023. You're going to get the best possible coaching and the best possible development at this level. And the great news about Francis Mauigoa is he's already a couple of cuts above most true freshmen who are going to come in and play offensive tackle. This guy is the real deal. Francis Mauigoa. First of all, the size, absolutely elite. 6'5", 330 pounds. He is a grown man. 17 years old. You see this guy on the street, you think this is like a 25-year-old NFL type body offensive lineman. He's already got the size. He's probably going to keep growing. And I know once he get into that strength room with Miami strength and conditioning program, he's going to put even more muscle and even more power on that frame. Freakish strength, right? That's the big thing. When you watch the footage of Francis Mauigoa and you see what he does at the high school level, he plays at IMG Academy in Bradenton, which is a football factory. He mauls people. He has freakish strength. You'll see him sit down opposing defensive linemen, throw people around like rag dolls. And it's not just the strength and the size and the power. It's not just that with Francis Mauigoa. I apologize. Sometimes, this name's been killing me. Francis Mauigoa. I want to make sure I'm saying his name correctly. Welcome to the U. I don't want him to see me. Oh, this guy mispronounced my last name. I don't know about this Miami commitment. No, Francis Mauigoa. Big thing that stands out about him, it's not just the size and the power. The technique and the footwork is already next level. And that's why he decided to zero in on the offensive line because, earlier on in his high school career, was a two-way guy, was playing defensive line and offensive line. Of course, just a Mack truck on both sides of the football. But, and kind of realizing, hey, with just how fluid he is in his technique and with the footwork that he possesses, he was steered towards offensive tackle because that's really going to be the impact position and the money-making position for him. And the sky is the limit for this guy. Sometimes when Miami lands a commitment, we will talk about things like, hey, like this player, he's got really high upside. We'll find out kind of where he is after he gets some great coaching. With Francis Mauigoa, he's already a couple of cuts above most players you're going to get class of 2023. Like he's about as close to a finished product as you can already get. Not to say he's a finished product because, his experience playing at the collegiate level and the coaching he's going to get at Miami, I believe is going to take him to an even higher, a couple higher levels than he is already. But this guy, he's already so good. And okay, this is pretty amazing when you look at how far Miami has come when it comes to the composite rankings, recruiting rankings for the class of 2023. In a matter of 8 days, if you go back to the Jaden Rashada announcement, that was Sunday before last, 8 days ago, we're here 4th of July, Monday. Before Jaden Rashada announced a verbal commitment to Miami, the Hurricanes had the 44th ranked class of 2023 in the country. And of course, then we told you, don't sweat it. Don't worry about being in the 40s. A lot of help is coming. Miami's class is going to ascend to great heights. We know the grinding that Cristobal and his staff are doing down here. Don't worry about it. And I was telling you guys, even before the Rashada commit, I told you, Miami's class of 2023 is going to trend towards the top 5. I didn't know it would happen this quickly. So over the past 8 days, it's an avalanche. It's the avalanche that we talked about. After the Rashada commit, you get the Nathaniel Ray Joseph commit. Rashada, Ray, both 4 stars. You get the Riley Williams commit, 4-star tight end. He's a stud. You got the Robert Stafford commit, 4-star defensive back. Now you get 5-star, 9th-rated player in the entire country. And by the way, according to a stat that our good friend Brad Tejeda gave us when he was on our episode yesterday, and of course, he was saying this before Mauigoa picked Miami, but if Mauigoa picked Miami, he would be the 9th-rated recruit that Miami has ever landed. The 9th best recruit on paper that Miami has ever landed. So they now have a top 10 recruit in program history has picked the University of Miami. So with handful of 4 stars and now a 5-star stud having just committed to the U, In a matter of 8 days, the Hurricanes have gone from the 44th rated class in the country to the number 8 rated class in the entire country. And we still have more announcements coming later this month from Miami recruits. I mean, we're a few days away from potentially landing another 5-star. Jaden Wayne, 5-star pass rusher, is going to be announcing, I believe, on July 9th. He picked his sister's birthday for the day to announce. So Miami, correct me if I'm wrong, but if he commits, I believe Miami's could have by the end of this week a top 5 class. As the sun comes out and small businesses are back in business, LinkedIn Jobs makes it easier to grow your team. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the people you want to interview faster and for free. Create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 810 million people. Then add your job and the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring so your network can help you find the right people to hire. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know that every week, nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Thank you so much for making Locked On Canes your first listen today. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts and available on YouTube. Welcome to the U, Francis Mauigoa. Welcome to Miami, and wow, stud offensive tackle. We've been saying this for weeks in recruiting that an area that is going to get a lot of attention is the offensive line because Cristobal and Mirabal want to leave their mark on that unit. And people ask us this all the time. I don't think linebacker is far behind. I think linebacker is going to be addressed in a big way with commits this summer. Keep your eyes on Malik Bryant from the Orlando area. That's a 4-star, one of the top linebackers in the class who Miami is recruiting very hard. Charlie Strong is putting a lot of work into that one. I make no guarantees, but I think that's one that could very well end up being Miami bound. Let's take a look at the class of 2023, the hard commits we have so far. Jaden Rashada, huge. And listen, I don't know. You guys tell me. Drop me a comment on the YouTube video. Drop me a comment on Twitter. You can follow the show at Locked On Canes, and we will follow you back. Follow the show at Locked On Canes, or you can follow my personal at Alex Donno. Donno spelled Donno. In landing Francis Mauigoa, how does your excitement for this one compare to your excitement from landing Jaden Rashada 8 days ago? Because I know it's tough to surpass landing a quarterback, right? And hey, it's really important to have the guy who's going to be protecting Rashada and Emory Williams once they get to Miami and are ready to start playing, because I love Emory Williams as well. But your excitement for landing the 9th rated recruit in the entire country and the top ranked offensive tackle in the entire country. Are you just as excited, slightly less excited, slightly more excited than you were last Sunday when Miami landed Jaden Rashada? Because I don't know, I think I was a little bit more excited about Rashada, not just because he's a quarterback, but because Rashada was the first big domino to fall. And that Rashada domino, it knocked over the Ray Joseph domino, which knocked over the Riley Williams domino. Although I'm pretty sure Riley Williams would have come here even if Rashada didn't. But it's like that started the momentum, that started the avalanche. And all these big dominoes, most recently Francis, have dropped ever since Jaden Rashada just 8 days ago picked Miami. So Miami's got Jaden Rashada in the class. They've got Riley Williams, another IMG Academy. Well, he's just actually transferring there, but another IMG Academy guy. So Miami is becoming like IMG is becoming like a Miami pipeline, which is great because it's an amazing powerhouse of a program. Ray Joseph from Miami Edison committed to Miami just last week. Robert Stafford from Melbourne, 4-star corner. He's listed as an athlete, but he's going to play corner at Miami. He's already a tremendous player with a tremendous amount of upside. That was a big get. Robbie Washington to play wide receiver. This is going to be a loaded wide receiver class, because you got Robbie, you've got Ray in this class. You talk about 5 stars. I think Miami's got a really good shot at 5-star receiver out of Miami Gulliver Prep, Jalen Brown. That could be another 5-star. Like, I'm just thinking out loud here, guys. Mauigoa, the first 5-star in the class. I think Jaden Wayne probably could be, I don't want to jinx anything, but he could be the second 5-star in the class. Jalen Brown could be the third 5-star in the class. We're taking over. Like, we are taking over. Just the fact that I love doing the show, that's the only thing stopping me right now from driving to campus and banging pots and pans together. Like, just the fact that I feel like I need to talk to you guys because I'm so over the moon excited about this. Antonio Tripp, and I know Antonio Tripp 3-star. Like, he's not, consider a blue chipper guy. He's not a 5-star. He's an interior offensive lineman. But Antonio Tripp, I don't know. There's a few of them, but he's one of the guys who's like the heart and soul of this recruiting class, and he's a dog on the field. Like Antonio Tripp, he's going to be a big time player for Miami, but the passion that he has for the school and the passion that Antonio Tripp has recruiting other players and firing up other players, like I've got to believe he's probably been in Francis Mauigoa's ear in recent weeks. Like really, I know he has, in fact, and I know Jaden Rashada has as well. You want to talk about current commits that are recruiting other commits, because honestly, some of the best recruits you're going to have are the players who commit and then recruit other players because they want to get the momentum going. They want their class to be a big class and a special class. And Jaden Rashada has been reaching out to publicly, probably in person as well, but publicly on Twitter, he's been reaching out to Francis Mauigoa, like, come here, play with me, let's do something special together. And Antonio Tripp is always doing that. He is always spreading the University of Miami gospel. We got 3-star tight end Jackson Carver, 6'6", 220. This guy's going to be a threat in the red zone. And Miami keeps getting big tight ends too, because Reed McKeska is 6'5.5", 233. These guys they're like mountains. It's crazy how big they are. Riley Williams is 6'6" as well. You got Bobby Washington at linebacker. Emory Williams, also a quarterback, and he had a great Elite 11 finals. We talked about him, what was it, Saturday's episode with John Garcia Jr. We talked about Emory Williams, who John actually had him out of 20 quarterbacks that competed in the Elite 11 finals. John Garcia from SI and his crew there that helped him rank all the quarterbacks, they ranked Emory Williams number 3 out of 20. And they actually thought overall he had a better Elite 11 final than Jaden Rashada. That doesn't really, because they scored it day by day by day. So listen, you can argue till the cows come home about which guy you think is going to be the better college quarterback, but Emory Williams had an awesome Elite 11 final. And another offensive lineman I really like who's in this class, a developmental guy, but I think that this staff can mold him into something really special, is Frankie Tinalau, Australian. He actually is just moving stateside. He either just moved or he's in the process of moving to play at Miami LaSalle next year for his senior year, committed to Miami. This is one of these guys that Cristobal found, and really started scouting, because that's one of the things. To be a great recruiter, when it comes to Cristobal, Mirabal, the entire coaching staff, these guys do not sleep and they do not stop. They are always recruiting. If you're going to be on this staff, if you're going to be on this Miami staff working under Mario Cristobal, you have to be working 24/7. Even when you're sleeping, you're working. Your dreams are about evaluating players and making in-home visits and scouting players. That's how much of a grind it is recruiting on this staff with Mario Cristobal. And they will find players. They will find players that other schools are not looking at. That's what happened with Emory Williams. That's what happened with Frankie Tinalau. They will find players that other schools are not necessarily looking at. And then when Miami finds them, when Cristobal finds them, other schools will start looking at them. So Frankie Tinalau, he grew up playing rugby in Australia. He's 6'5", 315. They're going to develop him into a stud offensive tackle as well. But and listen, he can learn a lot from Francis Mauigoa. I mean, you want to talk about having a guy to take the cues from and learn from. Having a guy like that in the same recruiting class, it's really going to benefit him. And speaking of like scouting players early, and obviously, Mauigoa long been known as one of the best talents in the country. So this one wasn't really a secret, but this is a player that Cristobal has been recruiting for years, going back to when he was at Oregon. So the work on this player, obviously, I think it goes without saying, Francis Mauigoa would not be a Miami Hurricane if the previous staff would still be here. Like, wouldn't have been a finalist. Miami's hat would not have been on his table. It wouldn't have even been a consideration. But, he's here because of Mario Cristobal and his staff, because this is a guy that if Cristobal didn't land him here, probably would have landed him in Oregon, because they were recruiting him hard at Cristobal's previous location. And, when Mauigoa was sitting at the table, ready to announce, a lot of people on Twitter were saying this, because you're always trying to read the room, right? Because you got the six hats in front of you. Which one of them looks like it's been put on before? And the other clue people were looking at was, he was wearing the Hawaiian shirt. He's in Hawaii making his announcement. He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt. It was a green Hawaiian shirt. And it looked to me like the lei that he was wearing had orange and green flowers on it. So I think he tipped his hand a little bit. So I had a good feeling once it started, and he was like thanking his family and thanking God, and he even spoke in Samoan for a while, and then he was speaking in English. It was a really nice announcement and a lot of thank yous. But I was kind of reading the clues, and I thought, okay, I think maybe he's going to pick Miami. So we just landed a big one. We just landed a top 10 recruit in the entire country, top offensive lineman in the entire class of 2023. Miami right now, as of today, July the 4th, 2022, the University of Miami has right now the number 8 recruiting class in the entire nation. I want to read some of you guys' tweets. You tweeted to me right after Mauigoa announced at Locked On Canes. You can follow us at Locked On Canes. We will follow you back. Let me get to some of those after I talk about betonline.net. BetOnline.net is your number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. You can find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's NHL playoffs and Major League Baseball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering info, including live betting, esports, and scores. And BetOnline.net remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check on all your favorite sports and events, including MMA, boxing, and golf. So head to their website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts. Thank you so much for making Locked On Canes your first listen today. We are available free wherever you get your podcasts. And my goodness, the tweets have been coming in fast and furious. Oh, this is amazing. Let me try to find some I can read here. So preferably ones without expletives, because some of you are so excited. I love it how you land a 5-star commit, and then people are already asking me when's the next 5-star going to come in. Like Johnny asked me, any word on when Cormani McClain will announce? That's another one. Miami's in play for 5-star corner Cormani McClain from Orlando. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he's dropped a date yet that he's going to announce. I don't think he has. I might be wrong about that, because guess what? Keeping up with all the Miami targets, because there are so many, it's becoming exhausting, because there's so many guys. And then between now and August 20th, there are so many guys who are set to announce. It's like I need eyes on the back of my head to see everybody. So I don't think Cormani McClain has made a date yet. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Leave a comment on this. But, Miami's very much in the mix for him. Oh, here, Rob Elliott tweeted to us. I knew it on Francis. He said, I knew it when I saw the orange and green lei. There is no better place for him to come than with Mirabal and Cristobal and their track record with their offensive linemen. This is about to get scary, he said. There's only going to be more coming in. Mike writes, we are on pace for a top 5 or better class here. I don't want to, I'm very superstitious. Those of you who watch the show every day, I don't really like to talk about things before they happen too much, but Mike said it, not me. You heard that tweet that I read. Those were Mike's words, not mine. I'm winking, though. I'm winking right now as I say that. Those are Mike's words. Tom just responds and says, amazing. This is epic and so dang excited. A lot of people are talking about the fireworks that they're going to set off tonight. All Teams Miami writes to me, Mauigoa to the U. Let's go. Yeah, I've got 2 different sets of fireworks at home. I've got like the good ones, like the bottle rockets and the M80s. I don't know if they still make them. I don't really have M80s. I don't even know if that's still a thing. But I've got the bottle rockets that I was only going to set off if Mauigoa picked Miami. And if he didn't pick Miami, all I was going to do was light those little snakes, those little sad things. It's like it's a little pellet that just expands when you light it. That's all I was going to. If he had picked Tennessee or Alabama, I was going to throw the good fireworks in the garbage because I didn't want to set him off if I had nothing to celebrate. But I have something to celebrate. This is fantastic. Oh my gosh. Dom V writes, yes, I'm going streaking to the quad through the gymnasium. I'm getting some KFC. Oh, you guys are too funny. Oh man. And then a lot of people were tweeting me right before the announcement about how nervous they were. I love it. And yeah, and listen, guys, I mean, it was fun the last couple of days. We had the hashtag that was trending, hashtag Francis to the U, and we got it done. Mario Cristobal got it done. The entire staff, all the players who were recruiting him, Jaden Rashada, Antonio Tripp, we got it done, man. Francis Mauigoa is a Miami Hurricane. First, and I don't believe last, 5-star commit of this class for the University of Miami. Thank you so much for having fun with us today. I wish every episode could be like this. But you know what? A lot of episodes have been like this lately because our episodes after Rashada, after, you go back the previous week, after McKeska, Carver, Emory Williams, after Ray Joseph, after Robert Stafford, after Riley Wood. We've had a lot of these episodes where we are reacting to great news in recruiting. And I think the great news is going to continue. Number 8 ranked class in the entire country right now. And again, Francis Mauigoa, this guy he's graceful, he's big, he's strong, he's got great footwork, great technique. He's already really devastating as an offensive tackle. And you think about how much he's going to learn from these coaches and how much better he's going to get. It's great to be a Miami Hurricane. We will talk to you guys again tomorrow. Hey, get more on the ACC, and we do have to have a conversation about the ACC this week, a couple more of those. Get more on the ACC by making Locked On ACC your second listen every day. Host Candace Cooper, who is awesome, and the local experts of Locked On take you across the ACC in 30 minutes or less. Make Locked On ACC your second listen, Locked On ACC. We will talk to you guys next time on another episode of Locked On Canes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.